You guys, it's my favorite part of the week.
Yay.
What the podcast?
What are you gonna do with that bottle?
Probably smashing on the ground.
It's a cool bottle.
Pretty cool. I was just saying before the show started that I thought it was like hardcore to drink these. Like when I was in high school, I'd like walk around drinking one of these because I thought it looked like a 40-ounce.
Yeah, how much does those run? That's a big bottle.
Yeah, it's like $2 or $3. I
For
mean,
the
it's just
listeners,
tea.
it's
So
a tea Hava
this is a
bottle.
tea Hava, 33.8 fluid ounces of tea, and I drink them in one day. Like I'd be peeing like crazy too.
That's a Trenta size at Starbucks.
Is that a
33
Trenta?
ounces
It's
of
one more
Trenta?
ounce than a Trenta.
How much is in a
Trenta
wine
is a
bottle?
32 ounce.
No.
Wine bottle's like kind of the same, right?
Yeah, I honestly feel like maybe less.
1.05 quarts, also known as 1 liter. It's a liter.
Wow.
Well, that's our show for today. Thanks so much for listening.
Thanks so much.
Anyways,
Gosh.
welcome back to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan,
And I'm John.
and together we are.
Ryan and John.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
How you doing?
there? I'm a little tired, but
Are you?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
a little tired.
You been burning that midnight oil lately?
No, I just did a lot of cleaning up and organizing in the garage today.
It's bad on us because
So-
we moved the time, and this is nap time for me. I don't know about you.
That's exactly what it is. I usually take a nap right around 3 o'clock
We
on a
scheduled-
Monday.
We scheduled our podcast for nap time,
I know. It's tough.
and that's going to be a problem for the future, I feel.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll survive. We'll get through it.
We'll work around it. That's fine. On the
You
couch,
know-
as always,
go
Cara Tafolla, my wife.
Hi.
Hello.
My wife.
And joining us again is Annie the Skovmand, the lovely. Always fresh, never frozen.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Annie, I'm to understand that you have something to share with the class over there.
We're
Yeah.
just gonna go right into it.
Yeah, we're just raw right
Yeah,
into
it's-
it.
One
That's
thing
true.
that I know about this group of friends
Mhm.
is we love a pickle.
We do love a pickle.
We do love a pickle.
I'm like, ooh, I already know what it is.
John,
and
John.
I'm-
Okay.
I love
not-
pickle.
I'm not sure.
looking
I
for
was
sure.
in a
No, is
lovely
it like
little
whiskey
town.
pickles or
Hey,
something?
Hey,
Oh,
shut up.
Oh,
No.
Oh my god.
hey,
Hey.
that's my wife you're talking
Hey,
to.
hey, you literally segued into my bit,
Yeah,
and nobody's
Annie,
let me
what's
finish.
the one thing? What's the one thing we do on this podcast? Like prolifically
Lie.
talk over each other.
Anyway,
What I love is, hey, shut up.
Shut up.
I'm gonna start using that.
Yeah,
100%. I'm gonna start using that.
We're gonna clip that.
Hey, shut
I
up.
did that to my dad this morning on the phone.
No.
Yeah, he kept. I was trying to talk to my mom about something. He kept talking. I said,
Hey,
shut
that's
up.
a problem.
Oh
Anyway.
my
You gotta
God.
stop doing
He thought it was funny. Thank you.
Let's get to the
Get
point.
back to my
Let's get to the point.
I went to a lovely little town called Julian.
Dang.
Wow.
No
Ooh.
invite. No invite.
I'm a bad girl.
Sorry. Wait,
Wrong
wrong
button,
button.
wrong button.
anyway.
Yay, Julian.
thank
We
you.
love Julian.
We love Julian, and Julian has a candy shop right at the front of the town.
You're talking about the candy mine?
No.
No,
The,
no.
the nut shop. The nuts and
What?
the
It's like
nuts
it's
and
like
Don't
the
know
candies.
I
cider,
don't know
the
it.
cidery,
Oh,
the
the
one where
cider
we get
mill.
the honey
the
sticks.
cider mill.
The honey sticks.
And I usually just beeline the way that is set up. It's like big tables of like candies, and then they have shelves in the back. I never look at the shelves. Well, this time I did.
Oh yeah, they're popping back there.
Oh, they're popping. And you know what? They had a theme. Lots of pickled things.
Oh,
yes,
no.
pickled things.
Pickled things.
Not pickles.
Oh no, lots of pickles also. But they always had like kind of like crazy flavors, right?
All right.
Crazy
All right.
flavors.
I'll
And so
buy
they were
it.
having like dark chocolate covered chipotle, like honey roasted almond. You know, they're always like almost sound good, but then just a little bit of twist.
Okay.
So I saw these and I said, we're going to try those on the podcast.
Oh.
A little moonshine pickles.
Oh shoot.
I knew it. I knew it.
Moonshine
Called it.
pickles.
Moonshine pickles.
Did you have to show an ID to buy these?
No. So I
so-
believe that the alcohol, I think it's pickled in the moonshine, but I don't think it's enough to.
Is it like cooked out or?
I have no idea. I
Okay.
don't listen.
Can you
Here's
read the
thing.
label?
Okay,
Sure.
pass it over here.
I
Pass it
can
over.
read you the one label on here. It says Julian cider mill, moonshine pickles, cucumbers, water, sugar, vinegar, moonshine, whiskey, corn whiskey. And
Cara
parentheses.
did
So-
say right before this that it was whiskey.
So vinegar
pickles, probably.
moonshine, doesn't that just mean it's like fermented vinegar?
No, it's vinegar, moonshine.
Oh, got it.
So it's
Both.
pickled in both.
All right, I gotta give that a smell.
It's gonna be great.
You gonna crack it open?
No, it's not.
I got you, buddy.
That's difficult. Go ahead, Ryan.
Strong man will do it.
Cute
Hey.
jar though.
Chat, check this out.
That was
That was
really
so
weird.
small.
That was a tough one.
That was so
Take a
small.
whiff.
Does it just smell like pickles?
Just smells like pickles.
Oh man.
I got a little knife for
Oh,
us
let's
to
try one.
skewer and
Here we go.
divvy up. John was not looking forward to him.
I think I misunderstood them because I just understood them as like boozy pickles.
I kind of also bought them
it's-
thinking they were.
Maybe it's like
boozy
homemade
pickles.
It's sounding
vinegar.
like maybe it's just a
Oh no,
semi-different
there's
flavor.
moonshine on that.
a different
Let me
flavor.
get you a good
It's
one.
kind of sweet.
Oh,
They're kind of
yeah,
sweet
you are
pickles.
too kind. You are too kind.
Thanks, buddy. That's just I'm looking out for you.
These are weird.
Oh,
They smell
It
blasted
smells
one
like bad
off.
pickles.
bad. they
oh,
smell
you guys!
bad.
I don't want to do.
How
that.
long
Hurry
were they
up,
in
Brian.
your car?
Hurry up, because it's
No,
dripping.
I bought them yesterday.
Okay.
I brought them into the kitchen.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh.
No,
Oh.
the
No.
texture.
No. Oh no.
Oh,
Wait.
The taste isn't bad. It's super sweet.
I
The
kinda-
texture is like, it's not a good pickle
Eat it.
texture.
Finish
I
it.
kind of
Finish
like it.
Oh my!
It tastes like there's honey in them.
Okay. They're just not salty enough for me.
Don't drink it. Don't. Oh, Ryan.
You dropped yours.
That's Arthur's.
It's not bad.
Artie, you want a pickle?
It's
At least
you
throw
have
it in the
to
backyard.
I
have to,
taste
like-
no moonshine in that.
you have to get pickle out of your mind because it's not like a pickle.
Maybe they
really.
boiled out the alcohol in the
Maybe
moonshine.
it's just sugar.
I don't think I
Not
don't think
good.
moonshine was a good word for it. It does taste more like a whiskey pickle.
Do you think they use the word moonshine just
It's
because
like
it's like
honey whiskey.
homemade?
It almost tastes like Tennessee, the honey whiskey,
I taste no alcohol.
the
in that.
Jack Daniels.
Cucumbers, water, sugar, vinegar, moonshine.
I was picturing.
salt.
Put
citric
that piece
acid,
of pickle in your
turmeric,
empty jar.
Dill. Pickle.
Where's
and
Or empty
the Where's
cup.
the sweetness coming from? The whiskey.
Sugar.
and
Oh,
it's
God.
too much sugar.
Way too much sugar.
Really, if you think about
That,
it.
That-
texture
Oh,
is
Ryan.
truly awful. That texture
I
is
don't
awful.
hate it.
He's
I kinda
obsessed.
like
He's
it.
Kinda
I kind of like it.
It was like
like
it was the texture of like a zucchini.
Yeah.
Like-
yes, a cooked
A cooked
zucchini.
zucchini.
I can't think about it. I'm gonna throw up.
I like them.
Ryan, take another swig.
No hate.
Ugh, dude.
I got hate
that
for
is
that.
Gnarly, man.
Ooh.
Ugh.
That's not a pickle that I want.
Okay.
Those would probably be good on a
How much
what's
was
it
that
called?
jar? I gotta know.
It was $8.65.
What are the
Oh.
the sandwiches? Not Cubanos
It'd be
Those
great
be good on a Cubano.
Yes.
with
The-
cheese
It
and
It just,
turkey.
the
and-
thing is,
the
it needs
Cubans?
it needs like some
Salt.
mustard or some
Salt.
salt or something
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Straight is
mustard
pretty
seed in
rough,
there.
but
It is rough. Wow, not nearly as boozy as I was hoping.
I was
pickles
thinking
to
like the moonshine cherries.
Cherries.
You know, I was like,
Ugh.
oh,
Or
this is
the
gonna be straight
peaches.
alcohol. You know,
Oh.
yeah, and it wasn't.
I love that stuff.
I don't know if it was better or worse than that. I think probably
be. Honestly, it'd be
worse.
better.
Yeah,
that might have been.
I
At
wish-
least you get buzzed.
Yeah, I wish it was a boozy pickle.
Not a boozy
think
pickle.
It
This-
truly makes me think there's no alcohol in there at all because they would have
I think
had
it's
to
all
card you.
fully kicked.
Well, I also
Cooked out.
look like I'm practically dead, so
Okay.
I've been carded
put you
in
on the other
weeks.
side of that. I put you on the line. I'd say you should card her just to be sure.
thank you. I appreciate that.
You're not
Um,
so much
You didn't
of
have
an
to
old
say that.
hag
That's
yet.
so sweet.
Yeah.
So
problem.
sweet.
But so okay, trying new things. 0
Try
out
new
of 10.
things.
But at least we did it. What are you like hoping to try? A new thing you want to try this year?
I'd like a new pope.
A new
Oh, nice.
No,
I
not
don't know
every
the
day.
transition. Okay, so the Pope's gonna die. It seems. Breaking news. Pope Francis is his name. Our current Pope.
With
Well,
our luck, he's
I
already
mean,
dead by the
he's
time
not-
it comes out.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I'd say
honestly-
our Pope. Like he is just the Pope right now. I don't know.
He's the
if
Catholic. Hashtag not my pope.
Hashtag. If you were Catholic, he would be your Pope.
But I'm
But
not
also, there's
He's
only one
Kara's
Pope.
though. He's Kara's pope. Though.
That's
and
true.
kind of your pope.
My papa.
I only technically. I from now and again I go check that guy out. He's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did go to see him. I went to his Vatican last year.
I did
So,
go to his house too.
Yeah,
house.
and I was like, "Hey, excuse me." I do like how like radical liberal he is. He's the one that
Can I get some?
comes out pretty frequently and says like, oh, like gay people should, just be treated normally, and we love gay people, and all the Catholics are like, no, and he's like, yes,
no, please, no.
he's like, but Jesus loved him, and everyone's like, no.
He must be pretty bad. He must be really ill, because I feel like, especially with celebrities and stuff, there's so much medical intervention that can be done. Like there's literally there's not a single like opportunity that he wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? In terms of medical.
Homie's pretty old.
Yeah,
he's like
he's
80
88.
something, 88. So, I mean, he's cooked.
My thing is like even at 88, they kept Jimmy Carter alive for 100, and that guy was basically a vegetable. You know?
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
this
saying?
guy's, I mean, kidney failure. There's a few key organs that when those start shutting down, you're kind of done. You've only got a few options.
The Pope
Double kidney
himself
failure?
asked for prayer on his
It's
deathbed.
got to be bad.
He literally was like, "Pray for my
He's
family."
like, there's only, you might as well just pray for me, because that's about all that could intervene at this point.
I was also saying to Annie and Cara today, but like the Conclave movie, those marketing people are like
They're eating
pulling
it
their
up.
hair out. They're going, why didn't we wait a fucking year? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's kind of perfect, because now it's fresh
new
in
life.
everybody's
Yeah,
mind.
it's new life, for sure.
Yeah, that Conclave movie is basically this happening: is the Pope dies, and they have to pick a new. And it's true that this is how it goes: is all these bishops or cardinals or whatever the next level of Pope guys, just under Pope, whatever that is.
Cardinals.
Thank you.
Pope guys.
Yeah, Pope guys get together, and they pick, and they have to get a certain amount of votes. It's not like, a majority rules. It's like they have to get a certain amount, like past the majority, something like 77 votes or something. But it is funny that they're talking about it like he's already dead. They're like, oh yeah,
Well, it's because according to procedure in the Catholic Church, the conclave has to take place 15 days after the Pope dies, and that they're willing to sometimes extend to 20 days, depending on if all the cardinals can get there physically. But that's why I think they're probably talking about it, is because...
And these guys are all over the world. They're not just hanging out at the Vatican. Like, they got to fly in. They got to make travel arrangements. It's like the Eddie. It's like, the conclave's on. Like, get your boards. Fly to Hawaii.
And so I sent a little TikTok, and one of the guys at Barstool's really funny. I don't know his name, but he made like a video of like what he
who are the
believes
front runners?
Are the front runners, and I thought it'd be fun, as a game on this show. Listen, we do the Deadpool, so this is a lighthearted one. This is just like who's going to be next, which is pretty optimistic.
Totally.
Pick your Pope.
All of our theme songs do that. And
I really should have my keyboard for this. I wish I would have known.
my
Pick the Pope.
my thing is
I don't know. Yours was better.
Yeah,
what really got me thinking about it is I thought for sure one of us chose the Pope as one of our Deadpools, but we didn't.
We were talking about
Kara
it
almost
last
did.
night. Kara was like, I almost picked
I'm
him.
pissed.
Oh,
I
no,
literally said
it was this
on
morning.
the episode.
I woke up Kara this morning. I was like, hey, so I hate to tell you this, but the Pope's not doing great. And she goes, I almost picked him for the Deadpool.
so
I
good.
literally, we did our picks, and I said, I almost chose the Pope, but nah.
Has he ever been on the Deadpool for anyone's
No, I
pick?
think
No.
Kara picked him the first time.
No, I don't think so. Oh, I
No.
can check.
Yeah,
I don't
check
think
the-
so.
I don't think
check
I've
the
ever
text.
chosen the Pope.
But we have a few front runners for the Pope.
Yep.
Annie, do you have your pick already?
Yes. Angelo Scola.
All right.
Angelo
Nobody
Scola.
picked.
Angelo
Angelo
Scola was
Scola.
described as always the bridesmaid, never the bride. He's been in the
No.
running for Pope a couple times.
Okay.
And he never got it. And I just feel like it's his turn. Was kind of a controversial Pope. He was, like you said, he was like, I like the gay people. And everyone was like,
turn.
what?
What?
And
It's up to
this guy seems like he's kind of run of the mill. 83. Feels kind of like in the same way that King Charles is like, he's like an interim king. Like he old.
Oh, you
He
think?
got dime. We're waiting for a young guy to come up.
Oh.
Because the other ones seem like they're like on the extremes of the spectrum.
Don't popes usually,
And he seems pretty run of the mill.
in my mind, the Pope is always old. Is he not always an old guy?
We need a young Pope.
A lot
We
of
need a
times
hot
the Pope
Pope.
is
an old
it's like
guy.
the president lately.
Aw.
Been old
But
people.
I've been saying that too. We need a hot president. We need a hot
I've
pope.
been saying this. We need a hot pope.
Imagine if we get a hot pope.
Someone is smoking out outside.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Kara said, no, thank
just got
you.
really
The
funny.
Stoners.
marijuana.
We're here talking about the pope.
The Pope.
It's like they don't even
You
care.
Could you imagine if
Not the dope.
in four years from now we could potentially have a young, attractive president and a young, attractive pope?
Whoa.
I think
the world
the world
be
would probably
unstoppable. It would
end.
heal. It would heal.
we'd
Yeah.
all heal. We'd
Yeah.
all heal.
A
from
hot
that.
president and a hot pope.
It
It would
could
heal the
it could
world.
fix me. Truly.
Good fix.
Well, my pick for pope,
Yes.
just based on the guys that I don't know all the Cardinals, so apologies if I'm missing a big one here.
Yeah.
I'm picking Luis Antonio Tagle. This guy,
Screenshot it.
Yes.
Well, we'll
the screenshot, it's gonna pop up
Luis.
right here. Luis seems to be a little further radical than
he the one from the
Pope
Philippines?
Francis. He looks to be of some Asian descent. I'm not sure what, but
Filipino. They
Yeah.
said.
he's Filipino.
Philippines.
Well, there you go. I think that the Catholic Church could really start shaking things up a little more.
Yeah.
And I think Francis was a good step in that direction. But look, they've got a long history
Of moving and shaking
Of-
those Catholics.
of not keeping with the times. Those Catholics.
Luis Antonio. Is that-
Yes, Luis Antonio
Yeah.
Tagle.
Wow, I got a photo of when he looked younger. He was.
Oh.
Was he hot? He used to be a hot pope.
How old is he now?
Let's
Well,
see.
I'm gonna Google him.
Wow,
It's
he's
my
67
eyes.
years
Hot
old.
pope. It's hope.
67 years old. This is him.
Okay, he's cute.
Yeah,
He's 67.
he's definitely like
Look at him.
cute.
67. Like, that's a
Aw.
long pope.
Pope.
Like, how
I
long
mean,
have we had our current pope?
That's the Pope you could take home to mom.
Yeah,
we've
that
had
is the Pope.
we've
That
had
is
this
the Pope.
current pope for maybe 20 years. No, 15.
no. No,
I
I
feel like
definitely remember him coming
They
into
picked
pope.
him
Maybe
definitely in
15.
our lifetime.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's see.
I remember him
I remember it
becoming
caught me off
pope.
guard. I didn't even know that the other pope died. I just remember seeing like
New
on the news
pope.
it was like white smoke. We have a new pope, and I was like, "What? The
Yeah.
old one died?"
Yeah.
No, the other one stepped down.
Oh, okay. That really
He didn't
He
die.
stepped down.
He retired. He was like, I'm done. I'm over this.
That seems like a job that you don't really retire. I
Well,
think those
I
guys
feel
love
like
being
maybe
Pope.
we give him the-
I remember it's not very normal.
Cardinal Dolan says Pope Francis is probably close to death. That's rough. What a
Oof.
thing to say.
Oof.
All right, John or Cara, anybody want to go next? Pope pick?
Yeah. So my pope pick was.
I'm sorry.
That's so funny,
I just
Pope
realized this segment's kind of funny.
I was like, "What?" Pietro Parolin. He is second in
Ooh.
command. He's the secretary of
Can I get a little more?
Pietro Parolin.
Very nice.
Ooh.
And he's
Benissimo.
second in command now. And I found out that it's really not often for the second in command to be picked as the next pope. And like the last time it happened was like 1900 something.
Oh.
And
They're
so,
good second in commands.
Yeah, so it's not very likely that happens, but I'm a firm believer that he's put in the time. It's his time.
You think the VP is
be-
getting bumped up to P?
I think it's his time to shine.
That's the big thing in Conclave in the movie.
The sunlight
That's right.
shines on Pietro.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's what I think.
Benissimo. I would
Cara,
say.
as the resident Catholic,
Yeah, you would know best.
I'm going for Cardinal Mario Gretsch
Mario
from
Gretsch,
Malta.
huh?
Malta.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay, that's a pick.
He's a young guy.
He's the Secretary General of the Synod of Bishops,
Okay. Oh, he's cute.
and he wants a more inclusive church.
He kind of looks like your dad's friend. Your dad's friend Paul. Kind of looks like Paul.
Like white and Catholic.
That is so good.
Kind of looks
Yeah,
like your dad.
he's my pick.
And it's just a gut thing for you. He's 68 years old, so
See,
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
but that's the
gut
thing
thing.
is I feel like we're gonna have an interim pope,
You think it's going to be like a...
another old guy.
Okay.
But I would love for it to be a young pope, as we say.
You think it's going to be an interim. Because
Yeah.
you think the
My
new
guys-
pope, he's coming. But
No,
not for
they
maybe
have
a few years.
they have their picks. There's not going to be an interim. They're going to
Well,
choose the next pope.
I'm saying no, they're gonna choose
No,
next
they'll
pope,
choose
but
one.
they're
He
gonna
didn't-
choose some old guy so he
Yeah,
can die,
he's
and
not
then
gonna
that way
last
they
long.
wait out like, oh, we can't pick him yet,
like a
but
Joe
he's gonna
Biden
be
pope.
good.
You're going to
Yeah.
be like a Joe Biden
He's
pope.
a Joe Biden pope.
Oh, sad.
Joe
like
Biden.
Biden pope.
like he just was kind of
we
a
need
placeholder.
we need a Barack pope.
I think that's only
A
going to
Kennedy
happen
pope.
if they don't
Pope.
like all of their picks.
Yeah, we don't need
Because
Canada
if
to
there's
go.
an old guy that they're like, oh yeah, he's gonna die soon anyways, they're not gonna vote for him because he's gonna die soon.
That's what they've been doing, Kara. When the last? How old was the last pope when he was in?
I'll
you know,
find out. I'll find out.
brought
I was
into
trying to find out.
Popedom.
Pope them.
Right.
I think it's
Francis.
popeness.
There's so many crazy things about religion in general,
okay.
but Catholicism particularly, and I do love the fact that it is a religion. Yeah, it kind of is its own country.
2013.
Oh, so he's been cooking for 12 years.
12 years.
yeah,
So-
I
and
said
he's
15. So
And he's 88, so that would put him
He was
at,
young.
Yeah, 76 when he got
Okay, so Kara, 76 has never been used in the sentence as young.
that's young for a pope.
I think
All of our picks are under 70.
No, mine's 83.
Oh, mine's 70. Okay, yours is not getting picked then. They are not picking him.
Yes,
73
they are.
years old. You're out of your
Interim
mind.
Pope.
No, hey, guess what? You know what always bridesmaids mean? Never the bride.
Oh.
Okay? He's never going to get
27
it.
dresses.
Never going to
He's
get
too
it.
old
27
now.
Get
Pope.
it.
What do you call them?
Popedom.
Robes.
Pope
Robes.
robes.
27 robes.
So I know that like all the popes are buried in the same spot. Is there like a special spot to be buried
I've been
as a
to
cardinal,
the
or-
Pope
I think when you're a cardinal,
House.
you just get
under the Vatican.
buried
It
where-
has a bunch of
where you're a cardinal.
of the burial
above,
of the
so below.
popes.
Wasn't
Yeah,
that
that's
that
true.
movie?
Yeah, that was
Right.
that movie's.
As above, so below. Wasn't that under the? No, what was the
No,
movie?
that's the Paris catacombs
The Paris Catacombs. Where was the
Yeah.
one that was
in Italy.
This is almost a podcast, you know. What's that movie? That scary movie about the Vatican?
Have we watched a scary movie about
Okay,
the
so
It's-
cardinals.
It's called Being Catholic, Kara. The whole thing is a
It's
scary
called
movie about the
Living-
Vatican.
Your best life.
Cardinals get buried at the same site as popes. Most of them do. Different section, the
Okay.
same.
Yeah, I was
Same
like, I
place.
didn't see no cardinals in that place.
Look, we're all the same when we go on the
Doesn't
ground, right?
matter.
You know what's
Does it really
crazy?
matter?
Doesn't
Come on.
matter.
when they make the because I was looking at like old popes,
Yeah, go ahead.
and they're like their
You're sick, by the
caskets,
way.
they're entombed, and on
Sure.
their tombs they carve out the pope hat with it. It's not like just them; it's like them in the pope
It's
outfit.
in their garb, yeah.
That's so Looney Tunes. What the heck?
They get buried in their
Like-
garb.
It's like in your
Pope-shaped
outfit.
hole with the hat.
That's our next horror movie.
That's so Looney Tunes. Go ahead.
That's the next horror
Zombie
movie.
popes.
Zombie
Zombie-
popes. Zombie cardinals.
There's gotta be a better name.
Zombie pope is so.
Nope.
And you're going to mass, and then they realize that everyone's
Zombie
undead around them, but
Oh
they're
my
all
God.
still doing the like movement.
No, it's a family who's on vacation
Okay.
to the
Okay.
Vatican,
Okay.
Okay.
and they go to
This happened to
where
us, by
a
the
bunch
way.
of them are buried. All of the electricity goes off,
Uh-huh.
and then everything starts rumbling like an
Which would be
earthquake.
bad because a lot of their
And then
confessional
all-
booths are electronic
Then
now.
all the tombs break open.
So
And
I've never been. So what's the
skeleton
burial
popes.
site like? Is it like
It's
just
it's like a kind of like a
graveyard, or-
museum
go.
thing. It's like underneath. You go into the main area of the Vatican where like
Okay.
it has all the different spots for mass.
Mhm.
And there was like a staircase to the side that said like the burial of popes, and I was like, we're going
Isn't
in
that
there.
isn't that where they have?
And you go down below. It's like spiral staircase down
Oh,
below.
freaky.
And it's like full. It's like and like it has like their tombs, and then it has like a plaque next to it of like when they served and,
And
when
they like carve a picture, like a photo of them or what they
the
look like.
newer ones did. But there were some like that were like not served like
Don't they
hundreds
think-
of years ago.
Isn't Peter like buried down there too?
Yeah.
Yes,
They're
he
like,
is.
this is where we think that
Peter.
Peter.
This is Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter.
Saint
Peter-
Peter.
Peter from the Bible is considered the
Jesus
first
is-
pope.
You know,
shit.
Jesus is Peter.
Peter.
Right, that's right.
Jesus is
Jeez.
Peter is considered the first pope of
You
the
know the
Catholic Church.
could we start again, please, Peter?
You're talking about Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
Got it.
Thank you. I think a lot of, Annie, to circle back to what you're saying about how they built their own country, I think a
Yeah.
lot of that does have to do with like imperialism, like coming from like conquering the world and like this religion, like, you know, Constantinople. Like, I think there would be other countries, like religious
Religion
countries and stuff,
I mean,
but
kind of England, I guess.
well, like Mecca is like this prolific city in Islam, and like people make treks
Yeah.
to it every year.
Pilgrimages.
Pilgrimages. But I don't know, white people, you know.
I will think it's kind of like fitting that it is the smallest country in the world, Vatican City.
It's
Sure.
pretty cool.
It's
Not gonna
more
lie.
it's more of like a square, you know.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh,
think
I
it's cool because
thought it was a
you
circle.
grew up like as a as Catholic, or do you think it's just generally like is it just a cool thing?
I thought it was generally cool.
I thought it was cool too. I think it's interesting. I
You
don't
like
know,
you.
I don't
What's
know if-
funny is you can walk and just like stumble upon it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just like
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
just in the middle of
corner.
the city.
There's a lot of like history and stuff, but I don't know if like
I'll say bad gift shop.
bad gift shop. I got bad
Bad
gifts in there.
gift shop.
Yeah, well, they just had all the carts around.
They're not
too,
worried about the
of
gift
the guys
shop.
selling
Where-
things.
Where is all the tithing going to if it's not for good gift shop gifts?
It's going into keeping freaking Pope Francis alive right now.
Yeah, that's pumping through his
That's
veins
where
right
all
now.
the money's going.
Double kidney failure. That'll run you.
You're telling me the Vatican doesn't have connections? Like they couldn't
No, they do.
get a kidney
They
off
definitely
the
do.
They
black
could have
market
like
and
what you guys got on like a mass email list or something.
They got a holy
From
dialysis
the Vatican?
machine, I think.
No.
email list.
Yeah, oh, what? They wouldn't put all the Catholics on one big email list.
No, the diocese of the United
That
States
does
is
sound like
far and away
Catholicism.
like
The
pretty
email list.
separate, right? I mean, they like take cues and stuff, but they're
Catholics
not like
are different here.
No,
Yeah.
you get like
It's like
you get
branches.
like letters from the Pope
sure.
or like
Like a happy
the
birthday
Pope's
from the Pope.
announcement.
So
It's
who
the
funds-
Christmas
who
card from
funds
the-
the Vatican.
it's
The,
the
the Catholic
Pope
Church.
with his little
and-
dog.
No, it does.
No, the probably like well-off Italians and
Oh,
stuff,
okay.
but it's kind of like a I'm not gonna say a pyramid scheme,
Maybe.
but like
maybe
that is
If
part
the
of
shoe
it too.
fits.
Like each diocese like pays dues.
Well, yeah, the
basically.
diocese of Italy and each little.
But I'm saying
city
like
in Italy.
they do kick back a little
They-
bit to
they
the
send
Pope.
10%
Oh,
even,
yeah.
even like OLG like
Yeah,
throws money.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
it throws money back to the diocese, and then the diocese has to throw a certain amount to blah blah blah, and then it's
It's like a mob.
trusting
It's
them
a
to
mob.
do that.
It's a mob.
It's a well, we don't throw around the word mob.
the Italians.
That's so funny. That's awesome. I mean, the same thing is with like denominations in Christianity. You know,
Totally.
you pay your dues back to some big office, and
There's just not
Like
a
the Mormons.
well. That's
Mormons
I mean,
are crazy.
Not to
though.
get too into like religious history and stuff, but that's basically
Let's
like
get into it. If you know something about
well
it.
Martin Luther,
that'd
right?
That's new. That's new for our.
Martin Luther, right? His
Yeah.
his 95 Theses.
Yeah.
He literally was like, here's all the reasons why I don't think that the Catholic Church should be like the church, and I'm going to go start
Oh.
Lutheranism or Lutheranism.
Yeah.
And literally, it was just like basic stuff. Like, I don't think the Catholic Church should take money for this. I don't think, and he had 95 reasons, and that's
Yeah.
basically what started like the whole like
The Lutheran Church.
the Lutheran Church and split up into all these different denominations. Every denomination of Christianity is basically just like, okay, we're Christian, but like we don't do X.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
oh,
It's
okay,
things
we're-
they didn't
we're
like from the
Catholic.
Catholics.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
every single one is like just a different version of that. Like we
What's-
don't like the music, but we like all the teachings.
Yeah.
we don't like
What's
the whatever.
crazy is I'm close with some very like devout Catholic people,
Uh-huh.
and it's funny because it's like in the same way. Well, I didn't grow up religious, so like I feel like I learned about a lot of different religions,
Uh-huh.
but like they didn't learn anything about Christianity
Sure.
or like the modern non-denominational church. That
Uh-huh.
like I remember them saying something along the lines of like, well, you have like your church is like at the like a movie theater. I was like,
Sure.
what? They're like, yeah, you got these giant screens everywhere. And I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. If you see it that
Yeah.
way, if you've never
Yeah.
been part of it. And then they were talking about how much they hate the Lutheran Church because of Martin Luther. They're like, they're still pissed about it. They're like, don't be
That's
nailing
funny.
crap to our door. I'm like, okay. I go, well, I mean, their whole thing was like, his thing was like, people can read. You should be able to read the Word of God yourself. And the Catholic Church was like, well, if you read, then why are we here? So how about
Totally,
you don't read
totally.
and we'll read it to you?
Yes, you're exactly right.
And they still they don't like a
Who-
lot of Catholics don't like read the Bible themselves.
do like Bible study. It's like you
Yeah.
go to school for it, or you go to church, and it's like, yeah, well, that's where you get your Bible.
Yeah.
And then all of these like
Crazy.
Baptist and Episcopalian
Yeah.
and all these different people groups. I mean, you can literally track it through time and be like, okay, well, Catholicism was super strong in America, from the what do you call it, like post Civil War, and then you get Mormonism, like because they were literally these people that Joseph Smith like builds his own new kind of establishment, takes all those people to Salt Lake
the
City.
golden tablets.
Thank you.
Was he
I
a
don't
real
know.
person?
Yeah,
He was real guy.
real guy. There's
Real guy.
Are we
pictures of
sure
him.
about that?
Yeah,
Positive.
there's pictures of him.
It-
He's like in the
he
1800s.
was around, yeah,
It's
like
not, there's like
1800s.
cameras were existed.
Yeah.
There's like fully photos of him with all his wives and whatnot.
That's what's so crazy about it is like he comes along and goes, okay, well, actually, there's this third book, and after Jesus did his thing in Jerusalem, he died and rose again. He came over to America, and
It's so
Well, no-
funny.
and had the Book of Mormon,
Yeah.
and he gave it to the Native Americans, and basically they were like also the chosen people. There's
they
lore.
believe-
There's a lot of
They
lore.
believe that an angel came to Joseph Smith and helped him, like he helped him, like led him to the golden tablets, and then helped him to translate them
Yeah,
into English into the Book of Mormon, which we now
In
know
America?
in
in
America.
America. In like not Utah necessarily, because originally the way the shape of Utah is that the Mormon church basically said we want from where Utah starts on like the eastern side of Utah all the way to the ocean, and we want that to be like our Mecca. And the U.S. government was like, no.
You can
And so
have Utah.
they kept on like renegotiating the lines, and so the modern Utah was literally designed by the Mormon Church, like
Truly,
like negotiated with
Is it
the
like a
U.S.
square?
government.
because they were
It's kind of like a
so,
square
like,
with a little pop at the
Yeah.
top.
but they were literally like persecuted because Joseph Smith was like, here's all these new things about the Bible, and everyone was like, yeah, no, that's not real. Like, you know, they basically went to war over it, and so then they went west to Utah,
Yeah,
and
the
then they're
Mormon
like,
Battalion.
yeah, the Mormon Battalion.
It's like there's a whole history of the Mormon Church. It is crazy.
And you know, because you were almost Mormon.
I was almost Mormon.
Look, I digress because we could do a whole show about that kind of stuff. It's
Yeah.
so interesting to me, but the Pope. That's how we got here. That's how we got here.
That's how we got here.
So we wish the best to the Pope. Obviously, double kidney
I hope he
failure.
doesn't
that sucks,
die.
But
well, that was the email list idea. Is like, can't they just email out like, hey, anyone got a kidney?
Not when it's double, right?
don't think-
Well, you just need one.
I don't think
do you mean?
88-year-olds get kidneys, do they?
Yeah, but the Pope
I think
can't.
The
can't pull
Pope
some
can't.
strings on
I'm sure
that.
that there is someone begging to give their kidney to the
It
Pope.
sounds like they're okay if he dies. They're gonna just pick a new one.
Because
It's
they
not
want
about
they want a new
the
one.
Pope. It's
They want a
about
hot Pope. Everyone, even the
they just
Cardinals
need
want 'em.
somebody to sit in the seat and wear the hat.
Imagine they
Yep.
just pull out some like 35-year-old
Like
cardinal.
cool. Like,
chiseled,
from
and he was
LA.
on like he
He
was
like
on like
hits a
Popes,
jukebox and it turns on. And
Popes
they're
of
like,
the
oh.
month, like Popes.
I
hot
think you
Popes
have
of the
to
year.
be. I think
It's
you
like
have
the
to be
Fonzie of popes.
a bishop for like 20 years before you can even
No.
become a cardinal.
I just
and
looked it up.
then
I just looked it up. The Pope decides on cardinals. There is no formal application process. You have to have been a priest for at least 5 years, although it is recommended that you become a bishop. The Pope could literally just pull a priest that's been serving for 5 years and go, "You're a cardinal now."
And actually, by the way, any baptized Catholic man can be elected Pope.
Yep.
Oh my God, Robert Philly for Pope.
Robert Philly for Pope.
Yeah.
he
Email
doesn't speak Italian though.
Respond. So they got translators for
They
that.
got plenty of
Respond to the
translators.
email list and submit his name.
Reply all to that email and say Robert Philly.
And I found out
I'm
there's
throwing
No,
in.
the Pope has to speak Italian because he literally does mass every Sunday
well,
to
your dad-
Italy.
Yeah,
Could
guess
figure
what?
it
Time's
out.
up. We're gonna do something different now.
Times are
Time's
changing
up.
under the popism of Robert Philly.
And we're going full Irish Catholic with
Hey,
the Pope.
Mass is in English
About
now.
time.
Bada bing, bada boom.
I don't know what to tell you. Mass is in English, so that's just the way it goes.
Most Italians speak
I'm the
English.
Pope.
It could be one of those like Google Glass things where everybody wears the headphones and it's like translating it.
it's like, oh,
You can't tell me they have to speak Italian. That's
I'm pretty sure
crazy.
they do have to speak Italian.
I think if you're a cardinal, you're learning Italian. Is
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're hanging
You're
out,
learning
if
how to
you're-
say mass in Italian.
If
Okay,
you're-
can we get
if
a
you're
soft
that
commitment for
deep-
Robert to learn Italian then, and then I think we'll be fine.
I think we could get a commitment from Robert to learn Italian. If they're like, you're going to be the next pope, we got
I mean,
an
it's
old
not that
interim
hard.
pope in
It's not
2 or
that
3
hard.
years.
But I'm
Do you
assuming
know
that,
what language
No, but
he
I'm
chose in high school?
I'm assuming most of them
German.
Oh,
deep
wow.
deep in
Oh.
enough they're speaking Latin. They're learning Latin and Italian.
My thing is somebody hands me
Italian's
the
just an
key.
offshoot of Latin.
You're handing me the keys to Vatican City, and you're telling me, "Oh, I got to learn Italian." I'll learn Italian. That's no
yeah,
problem.
I'm giving you a country. Fine,
You're
learn Italian.
But that's my thing is you're telling me they're giving the keys to some guy that doesn't know Italian.
Yeah,
come
come
on. He goes at pasta fettuccine.
yeah, he knows
There's
Olive
200
Garden.
There's 232 cardinals. Only 120 of them get to vote in the conclave
Whoa, what the heck?
Whoa.
Why?
because
Racist.
because the Pope can basically make
Classic.
any cardinal. They had to a while back. They had to decide on how many voting cardinals that they're allowed to be, and that's like Pope whatever 1,000 years ago.
we
said
have a
120.
bishop here. It was Bishop Robert.
No, not Bisher.
Bishop
Bishop the bishop.
Robert something,
Good guy,
Nice.
salt of the earth.
and
hope.
he got ordained by the Pope to be a cardinal last year. So
Hey!
he got
I
flown
remember
out to
that
Italy.
was in the news.
Yeah,
which is so.
Well, now he's
funny.
Cardinal Robert.
Wasn't that on your?
something.
That was on your a couple years ago. That was on your our Deadpool or like the predictions for the year. As you said, Pope comes to San Diego.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Did he ever do it?
No.
he didn't
Did
care
you know
about
how-
us.
anyone want to guess how many Cardinals are in the U.S.? Don't look it up.
12.
You said there's only 230
Oh.
altogether.
12.
I'm gonna say
232.
there's 30.
No,
Say
there's got to be
12.
more than that. So, okay.
Think of all the Spanish-speaking countries.
Of all
all
time,
the
there's
Latin-based
230.
countries.
Robert McElroy.
McElroy.
That's what it is.
McElroy.
McElroy.
So Irish of you. McElroy.
I'm going to say in the U.S. there's 100. No, that's a little high. I'm going to say 70.
Okay, 30, 12, 70. John, hit us with it.
Okay, so in 2023,
Uh-huh.
there was 11,
What?
but now, as January of 2025, there is 5 Cardinals in the United States.
How do we go down? They died?
And
They died.
Father
dying.
McElroy is one of them.
They died.
That's
Look,
crazy.
Only
Look,
5
5.
Cardinals in the
Five.
U.S.?
Right now, as of
Where
of
are
this
the
year,
rest
there
of
are
them?
5.
They're all in Italy?
Dead.
This is Father McElroy.
How many?
because they keep making old guys.
Because again, between 2023 and 20, they're all old dudes.
Okay, so they got a quota to fill.
yeah, they need
Yeah.
more.
They got to put some more old
So
dudes
maybe-
in
maybe-
power.
maybe it is.
But I'm sure there's like none in
Not
Utah.
old.
We
Thousand
need
dollars.
more old white guys in power of significant
Stat.
standing.
Stat.
So my thing is, how often do you think the Cardinals, like in any given country, just get together and like chop it up? Like the 5 in the U.S. Do you
The
think they
5
get
in the
together and
US?
go, hey, what's up? Like how's it go? Like they
Well,
all
they're
get together.
probably-
They are probably watching Concave and they're going, is this play about us?
Wow, Stanley Tucci being one of them, by the way.
Oh.
You guys,
Okay, where can
Father McElroy is a future elector of the next pope.
Yes.
He gets to
Well,
he
yeah,
gets to be
he's a
there.
cardinal.
Go ahead. Email
No,
him
not all
Robert
of them
Philly's
do.
name.
Can you tell me, John, since you're on the Google,
Yeah, go ahead.
can you look up where the rest of them are?
They're dead.
can I
Ryan.
Oh.
can I get like a
They're
general
dead.
idea of where the rest of them are?
on
Oh.
like out of like
Yeah, I got it.
which country has the most?
Yeah, there's
probably
200 of them,
Italy.
Well,
I'm
it sounds
guessing
like-
100 are in Italy.
and 6 of them were in the U.S.
5.
and died in the past 2 years.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what it
Is it
said.
murder?
Italy. Okay, so
Oh, you're interested in that, but you're not interested in the actual murder that took place in Ramona?
Okay, you know what? Let's talk about this briefly because
That's a crazy update.
when I'm wrong, I admit that I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that story about the fire chief that got stabbed in her home got way more interesting.
So it turns out when we talked about it last time, they had no motive and they had no
Well, we
suspect.
had no information about it.
for the
Well-
record, you basically called it. You said it was going to be a family. Or a
I said it was
spouse.
going to be a spouse, a partner. John, this partner, Yolanda,
Yes.
spent 11 years in prison for stabbing her husband.
to death for murdering her husband via
That is
stabbing.
something.
So she stabbed and killed her husband, served only 11
11
years for murder,
Which feels very, very
Short,
small.
right?
Yeah, for a,
got out, married a woman, and then killed her, stabbed her to death in her home, and fled the country, we think.
Yeah.
They think she's in Mexico.
Yeah, smart
Um,
on her.
Wow.
So Yolanda, you know, they
Wasn't
say
Yolanda
lightning-
the name of the woman who
Who killed Selena? I almost said never name
Oh.
someone
She was
Yolanda.
the
They'll
manager
end
of,
up
like,
a
of
murderer.
the-
Yep.
The club.
Of the fan club. Yes, and you're
It
right.
was
Sarah.
Yolanda.
Right.
Yolanda.
Wow.
Who
It's weird-
I
weird
believe
that
she
happened
just
twice.
got out. That
Yolanda.
Yolanda
she
just got out.
Yeah.
That story
Okay.
is so sad.
Yeah.
I have some
Selena.
numbers for you here
All right, give it to me.
on Cardinals.
Give it to me
So,
straight,
as
Doc.
You can, and again, this is from worldpopulationreview.com.
Thank
so
you.
Who
Nice.
knows how great it is? But as you can imagine, Italy has the most
Okay.
at 48 Cardinals. Now, something to note that I think is interesting is 14 of those 48 Cardinals are voting Cardinals, meaning that they will vote on the next pope. The other
Really?
the other 34 are just Cardinals. They do not get the power to
And
elect.
sorry, do we already say this? How do you become an elector?
I couldn't find that out. I
Just
don't know.
Good standing.
I wonder if the Pope dictates
Who's allowed to?
dictates what kind of cardinal you become. So maybe if a voting cardinal dies, then when he elects the next cardinal, he can.
But then
decide
how
if
do we
you're
pick?
voting or not
I mean,
voting.
how do we pick that cardinal? Then we have a conclave for that.
Well, the reality is too. When you think about it, like it would make sense for the Pope to choose because then the next Pope, he's either dead or resigned.
Yeah,
So
sure.
like he doesn't really have a say in like the next Pope necessarily
Of course not.
because he's dead. So like
he'll
it
be
would make
dead.
sense that he would choose who's an elector cardinal because it doesn't really impact him. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
And you can kind of choose like sweeping. Like it's not like you have to really scrutinize one particular person.
Yeah. So then this also, again, very interesting. This is definitely old stats because this says that the U.S. has 17 cardinals, and that's not. We know that's not true as of today.
6.
But 10 of those 17 at the time of this poll were electing cardinals.
Oh, so it's very likely that a lot of them have died.
Yes. Spain has 14, France has 8, Brazil has 7, Argentina has 7, Mexico has 6, Germany has 6, Portugal has 6, and then basically it dwindles down to like a ton of smaller countries, as you can imagine.
Wow. So it's obviously not
one.
It's not based on population or how many churches are in the area. Well, maybe it is, because I imagine a lot of those European countries have way more Catholic churches than in the States.
Yeah, I guess. China has 3. China has 3 cardinals.
And China's like massive, like billions of people.
I mean, I wonder how much of that is like, you know, I imagine Catholicism isn't like maybe booming in China.
It's not as big as, well, I think you'd be surprised probably.
Well, and I'm sure that there's probably some scrutiny, some cultural scrutiny that happens. Like if like Christianity is like almost banned in China, but you know what I'm saying? Like they probably allow Catholicism, but you know, I'm sure it's frowned upon. I'm sure a lot of people aren't. Maybe they're in the shadows are going like,
national religion
Catholic,
for a long time was Hinduism and then Buddhism.
Yeah,
but
so I'm sure there's a lot of people that like are practicing Catholicism maybe in the privacy of their own homes that like aren't being counted. You know,
have you ever seen the movie Silence? Andrew Garfield, Martin Scorsese.
Were you silent?
You plays him and Adam Driver play 2 priests that are trying to like they go to China and trying to like spread the gospel in like circa, you know, the 1600s, 1500s. And it talks basically about the persecution of Catholics and that the like Chinese emperor would have people who proclaimed Catholicism like killed and murdered. So I guess that kind of makes sense through the history that they only have a couple.
I'm sorry, I was totally listening to you, but
you weren't. You were looking
Artie
at
came
Arthur.
over here and just held my hand. He put his hand in my hand. Oh, you're being so cute. He thinks he's gonna get a little treat or something.
Fucking dead now.
Wrong thing. Sorry.
Well, I'm talking about the Pope. So.
All right. Well, speaking of the Pope,
Wow, the time flew by.
Can you imagine if he died when we were
Time
recording?
flew by. That was crazy.
when we start rapping about the Pope, time just flies by. I love hanging out with you guys every week. Oh, man. Hey, if you like this show and you want to support us, you can head over to our Patreon. Now, for just $4 a month, you can be What the Biggest Fan. Yeah, that's great. You get access to the post show. That's a little extra podcast we do every week. Kind of chat it up, say a little extra. You know what I'm talking about. Get behind the scenes looks at things and merch drops when we have them. That's right there in our bio. It is patreon.com/whatthepodcast, something I believe along those lines. And thank you so much for your support. We love you. And any final thoughts, everybody? Artie's being so cute right now. He's just hanging out. He's just chatting it up with me. He's like, hey, what's up?
I'm like, I gotta go.
Hey, buddy. Oh, you want to hold my hand again? Oh, yeah, you're so cute. All right, everybody.
All right.
Hey, let's get that nap in. All right, I'm about ready for nap time.
I'm so tired.
Woo-wee. All right, on the couch as always, Cara Tafolla, Annie, the Skovmand. I'm Ryan.
And I'm John.
And we'll see you next week on
What the Podcast.
I found out one of the qualifiers for being an elector cardinal is you have to be under the age of 80.
Oh my God.
You can't be over.
Yeah, we don't need 80-year-old guys picking who the Pope is.
Our last 4 presidents were 80 plus, so.